Billy, aren't you happy you survived? Moses talked to a burning bush. It's just a translation error to he smoked that good kush. One time my friend posted a picture of a disabled girl, and I decided to comment, I'm downs with this picture. Playing Pokemon brings you back to a simpler time when you didn't have to pay any bills and knew everyone's pronouns. AI will only make this problem worse as it can spread misinformation faster than Demi Lovato can heat up a spoon. If your face burns their eyes, then let your scent be your disguise. Andrew said he won't meet Drake because he painted his nails. Not him texting Millie Bobby Brown when she was 14. No, it was the nails that took it too far. Koreans tend to excel at math. Probably because their dog can never eat their homework. These people are probably reliving childhood trauma from when their uncle in a gray sweater bediddled them during Thanksgiving. Turkey's ready, Billy. Because now every chick is just a number, barely even a person. And every kid increases the chances that her is wrecked. Going down on her is going to be like walking into a spooky forest. Was that a queef, or is your cooter haunted? Resistance, birth control. So how to get rid of a stiffy? Well, you could think of your grandma rubbing mayonnaise on her inner thigh, but that's still going to take a minimum of 30 seconds, and you don't got that kind of time. Like, do you want to watch 100 dates in 24 hours? Or maybe 100 dates in 24 hours? Or maybe 100 dates in 24 hours? Or maybe... I remember being awake on a table as Baby Yoda poked at my poop chute. Pull her in close, run your fingers through her hair, caress her neck in a non-strangling type of way. You're the one that keeps saying adopt, not shop, so why aren't you rescuing little orphan Cleflip? I was in my physical prime, and the only ass I was eating was fault. So if babies be crying, my hands be a-flying. Billy doesn't like to be touched there. Oh, look, it's raining.
I don't see ChatGPT standing outside the bus stop saying, just one more hit.
Speaking of chopping wood, she punched me in the face once because she didn't like how I was walking around her. I can't tell you how many women I smashed from the opening line of, I bet you're trash at strategy games. That way regular people get safe drugs and the homeless can afford more heroin. It's really a win-win. Cutie Cinderella. Proving you can blow your way to the top. Cheese.
Jesus Christ.
Why do we care about the size of our junk?
Us Americans, we were never like someone who's borderline retarded.
Any sound could be a squirrel, a clicker, or someone looking for a butt buddy. If you're gonna fuck a cum dumpster, then you best be wearing a hefty bag. The struggle was real for stoners back in the day. You can have an old, wrinkled pair of flapjacks, and I'd still like to see those pendulums swing. Now you're eating charred plant matter with a hint of brownie, convincing yourself that you're high, while the only thing lit is your oven. The next email is so full of shit, it literally made me constipated. You know, I'm starting to understand why women love style, because they hate seeing a man have a good time. Nowadays, like Fox News, if I see even a little bit of darkness, I get rid of it. You see, all your male friends aren't actually friends. They're wolves waiting in the distance for you to give them the green light. Stealing money, biting your dentist, pushing a Girl Scout in front of a train, banging MILFs, getting rich, then banging more MILFs. We've all been on the highway when someone speeds past us, swerving in and out of lanes. How great would it be to have Magneto's power here? Just a little hand swipe and oh look, problem solved.
Why would you listen to someone tell you your future when their present is terrible? You're not special for reading cards. You're just special.
I mean, if kidnapping was a sport, we would dominate the league. Jesus, it's like they're just giving out trophies. Catching balls, hitting balls, cradling balls. I'm sorry, is it wintertime? Because all I see is a fucking snowflake. Look at this pic and tell me she's not one chromosome too heavy. Cute girls were the only thing on my mind as a teenager. I tried to focus on school, but once puberty hit, it was game over for my rational thoughts. The only physics I cared about were the bouncing of Stacy's fun bags. Butt jokes. Just like Technoblade, they never get old. I'd argue you're thinking it's a baby, and a baby dying is sad. But she was only 3 months pregnant. I mean, that's closer to semen than baby at that point. So let me be happy that all my problems have now been aborted. We both love playing Super Smash Brothers, hitting on girls with daddy issues, and making fun of the mentally handicapped. Hide some coat hangers around your house, or start greasing up the top of your stairs. Like one day, you're gonna find your friend's mom on OnlyFans, and this is where the true test begins. Since Stacy is pregnant, does that make this a 2-on-1? So take gradual steps, like replacing white bread with wheat bread, or Chinese food with self-loathing. Be happy that out of 100 cocks, she chose yours. Admitting you effed up your face trying to achieve an unrealistic level of beauty would show you're a great role model.
Now what can the smartest human do? Put a telescope into space, or figure out how to be a male corn star with a 6-inch eggplant?
If that happened to me, my ego would be out of control. If anyone talks smack to me, I would just send him a video of me by my private pool getting delivered drinks by a whole bunch of midgets as I'm motorboating a whole bunch of stars. But you're smarter than that dried up wallet. And with her out of the picture, you know what that means? That's right, inheritance. Isn't that why you're getting plastic surgery? To try to make your sad brain happy? Special ability? Border crossing. IQ? Asians are close to maxing out their IQ. I guess having your teacher beat you with a rod, then having your parents beat you with the same rod is a good way to increase work ethic. And the guy sticks out his foot and says, lick it. The girl says, ew, no, then goes back to tossing his salad. So try your absolute hardest not to look at their tits. Part of your awkwardness is low self-esteem. People are gonna judge me. me, or I'm not interesting, or people don't want to hear what I have to say. Take a look around. The world is filled with basic bitches. Holding the same iPhone, driving the same car, fapping to the same corn stars. Crimes. We all want to commit crimes. But going to prison blows, and not in a good way. I'm just pretending to be confused, like, what seems to be the problem, John? If I'm gonna die, at least have it on film. And I'm losing my mind, thinking, how am I the bad guy here? I just wanted some steak and a little makeout sesh. A dog also gives the appearance that you'll be a good father, which will send their ovaries into overdrive. Honestly, this has to be the gayest suicide attempt. I'd give my dog a handy for a few pills, but that doesn't mean I'm addicted. Be a master of your domain and stroke your large ego in front of them. Not breaking eye contact, only getting faster and faster. Women love to be teased, but don't go too hard in the paint. Making dead baby jokes right after the miscarriage might come off a little insensitive. Speaking of large sea creatures, Lizzo. And the procedure is real simple. All you do is break both femurs, then drill into the thigh bone, creating a channel to put a metal rod in your leg, and then we just secure that by drilling in screws. In America, money can buy anything. A nice car, a girlfriend with no gag reflex, and almost any law you want. I mean, it's not like any of them would do something irrational in order to gain the attention of a girl they idolize, tells people body shaming is wrong, asks to use the elevator during fire drills, gets upset when only one butt cheek fits in their chair.
So here you go, Billy. The next rising crypto is here.
Has a mother who claims her child is an angel, and a father who beats him for, quote, looking too queer. The most important thing about CrossFit is to endlessly brag about it on social media. For those who don't take Adderall, 30 milligrams is a fuck ton.
Hello?
John, listen, I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and...
Can you believe they're trying to teach my daughter critical race theory, saying that if you're white, then you're part of the problem? It's these liberal snowflakes that keep trying to indoctrinate our kids. Well, I'm not going to stand by and let these woke teachers tell my kid to hate America. No, I'm a God-loving Christian, and I'm tired of being persecuted against.
Columbus, that white devil, thought, I have the sugar cane, but no slaves to grow it for me. What to do? I got it. Grow it for me, boy. One of life's greatest pleasures is smashing. And do you really want to be getting a chick preggers? Endurance? Very high. Working in a sweatshop is hard. And I should know because I've walked a mile in their shoes. Number 1, an ugly child. Twerk better, you fucking idiots. Do you want to get fed or hit in the head? The choice is yours, creature who barely understands me. Life is like Fortnite, where you can be whoever you want while having strangers call you fag. No cap, bro be simping over my drip.
That boomer just be jelly that your Riz be fire, fam.
You know, you both use a lot of lingo for I'm not getting laid. I can barely control myself in front of a 7 with deep V, let alone being able to pick whatever ethnicity or cup size I want at the swipe of a finger. Hey, stop hate tweeting me from your sweatshop-made phones, you hypocrites. And if the news can exploit tragedy for profit, you can too. They don't have their own feelings, thoughts, and personality. No, they're basically just a blow-up doll who occasionally gets headaches. Probably from skull fucking her. Like every toothbrush is now an electric toothbrush, and you can have sex while asleep. How are you gonna leave your dog in a tiny cage for 10 hours? Just because your bad decisions trapped you in a cubicle doesn't mean you have to imprison others.
Holy tits, I'm so bored. What to do? Oh, you know what? I'll create reality. Bam, 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 bam.
Did I make love to a unicorn, snort angel dust with God, have the cute girl at the gym approach me? And the Oscar for a male actor in a bediddling kids documentary goes to Leonardo DiCaprio. This is Leo's second Oscar for wrestling a naked animal. Light some scented candles, drop in a bath bomb, look up your boyfriend's new girlfriend, and convince yourself you're way prettier. Cats are dicks. You could be having a heart attack and the last sound you'll hear is whiskers knocking over the flower vase. Guess 2 things are dying today. So we need to rise up and stand with big pharma lobbyists who will give us the buffet-filled drugs we so desperately crave. Being horny is a lot like being hungry. The only difference is where you place the cucumber. How many little boys need to get bediddled before we shut down churches? So I hope you wore a hefty bag before throwing it in that dumpster. They love seeing mass shooters, get a hard-on for natural disasters, and couldn't be happier on 9/11. What if you remarried after your wife dies? She patiently waits 5 years for you to arrive, only to see you holding hands with another woman while floating the idea of a threesome. It's finally happening! You somehow convinced a girl to come over your place. But if you want to go from lotion and wanking to choking and spanking, you're gonna have to prepare. Always complaining that men eye-rape her, when any guy would rather get an extra circumcision than stick it in her bear trap. My buddy Phil says he saw Mario shooting fireballs down his arm. Your eyes are now open as you realize mankind is just stardust-filled meatbags, given enough rationality to realize our own mortality. You're gonna want to shave your balls, your back, and that Anthony Davis eyebrow. You're gonna want to trim your nose hairs, beard, and those Wolverine claws. And you're gonna want a touch of deodorant and cologne. So when I turned 24, I lasered the bullshit out of my eyes. Tom, I'm gonna need you to build an ark, gather any creature that tolerates you, and sail the fuck away from me. Everybody likes to be teased. That's why porn usually has a story. Because banging a middle-aged woman is nice, but it's even better when it's your friend's stepmom. It's almost like our simple monkey brain is only capable of thinking of us as the highest form of intelligence. One time I walked on the beach for hours because I couldn't find my mom. I'm crazy dehydrated, barely comprehending reality, when my mom finally says, "Steve, why do you keep walking?" I'm thinking, bitch, because I can't see shit. And just remember, black does crack. I have an extremely fragile male ego with unresolved insecurities and don't need some smart chick diagnosing me. What I'm really saying is we all know mental warfare is worse than physical, right? So in a way, these gossip biddies are mental serial killers. Tooth Fairy, Santa, Jesus. Your childhood is filled with made-up characters just handing out free shit. Speaking of whores, Muslims, if you think there's 72 virgins waiting for you up here, you're dead wrong. You know who came out with that? A virgin. You can escape to Mexico and change your name to Guadalupe, but you know that bitch will end up finding you. Male otters will bite down on their opponent's penis. How could you eat a pet? Well, it's a lot like going down on a girl. There are better things I can put in my mouth, but it's the only way to stop her from squealing.
We like to convince ourselves that we're some sort of supreme intelligence when we're really just a slightly evolved ape.
I'd bring him to the store dressed as the Dark Knight as he's yelling, no, Batman. Let me see your cockpit. Sir, you're not allowed in there. Let me see your cock. During the commotion, the baby lifts up a fridge and I'm thinking, damn, how is she gonna breastfeed? If he can press a fridge, he sure as shit can bite off a nip. And our marriage is on thin ice as it is. If she loses a fun bag, it's over. Think of a sleeping bag like a condom for your body. You could raw dog the ground, but it's wet and you'll probably catch something. Nicotine is one of the most addictive substances on the planet. And just like raw dogging a stranger, once you start, you just can't stop. Me? It's my fucking house! You get the fuck out! Lower her already low self-esteem so she feels like you're the best she can do. Drinking is great for like 4 shots. Every shot after is like saying the N-word in public. You might get away with a few, but eventually you'll suffer liver damage. Do you need to wear clothes in heaven, or does God just download no shame into you? I feel like I need at least boxers, or I'd just be helicoptering everywhere I walked. Chocolate? Wait, that can't be right. If caffeine's in chocolate, then why has my dog been sleeping so long? And just like potato chips and once you start, you just can't stop.
Oh, a higher power isn't commanding me to do this, and these are innocent people that would suffer? You know what? I think I'm gonna play Minecraft instead. We have internet in these sand countries, right?
He's like cancer, where every time you think he's gone, he comes back and increases our healthcare costs. Kill me. Being born. If you survive, then congrats on not being a woman in China. That's when I cut my hands and pushed as much water as I could into one of the kids' faces. He starts crying because he's a little bitch, or because I pushed a gallon of chlorine in his eyes. I used to think the idea of lizard people was stupid, until I saw this picture. First, find anything that'll get that heart rate up, whether it's Zumba, bodybuilding, watching a baby in a microwave. You want that donut, you fat piece of shit, don't you? Don't you? Bro, you need to relax. You want to hit? Number 1, stop caring about what others think. 95%. If there was a 95% chance you'd get punched in the dick at Target, you start ordering stuff online. Not surprisingly, that was the last time I was invited to Thanksgiving. What is the most offensive username? Is it nut in my ear hole? 15 is old enough? Adolf, A-okay. For starters, it's not okay to f little boys, Jerry. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but where can I put this foreskin? It's not statistics or logic that makes people play these clearly rigged games. It's a feeling. You could smoke pot with Snoop Dogg, or do coke with Demi Lovato, or take sleeping pills with Heath Ledger. Anything that gives you a great story to tell their family at their funeral. If you want her to toss your salad, then your trunk better be smelling fresh. Baggy shirt may feel comfortable, but it screams you got bigger tits than her. I'm like, does beer always make you this horny? And they're like, no, going through puberty makes you forever horny. But beer will make you smash people you weren't originally into.
Oh God! Oh God, Billy, no!
Cringe. When you're bored, you grab a fidget spinner. When you're real bored, you stick it up your butt. Slaves. We all want slaves. But owning people's illegal. And you know, immoral. I really hope this baby isn't ugly. Steve? Oh my God, no. No, you never let me finish. Come on, give me that rigor mortis. Guy brains are very simple. Having sex is the greatest thing that can happen to us in a day. And the only thing better than that is having sex with 2 people. To the moon, buddy. Women are attracted to resources. That's why girls like rich guys so much, because money gives them the resources to buy the useless shit they desire, like a Coach bag or self-esteem.
As your education level goes up, your chances of committing a crime, or being racist, or getting your first cousin pregnant, all decrease.
There's no quicker way to add a chromosome than playing the not-breathing pissing contest. But there's no internet porn, so at least 13 hours of your day are now free to do other things. I don't even know who the most evil is here. Is it the network for making advertisements of children twerking? Is it the audience who are definitely predators playing pocket pool? Or is it the judges who are scoring the best striptease competition when it's clear the only number they want to give out is their own? Smashing women is the ultimate currency to a young male. Nothing screams I'm the alpha like more notches on your belt, right? And this wave of shame enveloped me. Mom is a pharmacist for CVS and Dad gets angry sometimes. Number 14, janitor on Epstein's Island. Convinces himself he's not a scared teenager who doesn't know what to do with his life, is just looking for someone to make decisions for him. No, it's just I love America too damn much! Porn is like watching watching the circus going, oh, that's how you play with lions. Like, no, that's a professional. You're a rookie, so start with a slightly tamer kitty. Is there food in heaven? It seems a little f***ed up to choke on a chicken wing, then go to heaven and see the same chicken that took you out. Not orgasming while smashing is like making a sandwich and having someone slap it out of your hand. So being sick is the perfect time to play that new Harry Potter game without being called the N-word for white people. That's right. Transphobic. Dealing drugs, punching a teacher, pouring olive oil on stairs and pulling the fire alarm. Stop acting like a homo and be a man! F*** Gary and his erect nipples. These kids are barely even people. They're basically just flesh vacuums for overprocessed food. Everyone loves drugs, especially children. Older women don't play games, tend to have bigger tits, and have maxed out their dick-sucking skills. He only cares about getting clicks for money. And saying provocative things on social media is a great way to keep people engaged, therefore promote you in the algorithm.
Israel-Palestine. How are we going to solve this? Well, maybe we should start with their imaginary friend.
Whenever my grandma's in the car, I think about saying, no one will find your body, Grandma. Getting fat is basically a sign that you stop caring about yourself, which is the most unattractive quality in a person. Well, that and cankles. You have to squat down like an African guy taking a shit just to get into it, but it's built for speed. There's almost no job an AI can't do better. And nothing makes a corporation harder than figuring out how to replace you. Like one time I knock on his door and say I need help with a customer. He comes out a few minutes later with powder very clearly on his nose, and I'm just shooting a look at the customer like, should one of us say something? So what's the name of the company? Well, I still don't want to say it, thinking they're going to use their cartel money to censor your boy, but I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with bone. As in if you use them, you will get boned. I'd rather have butt plugs and not use them than need them and not have them. Even if you don't speak the language, I assure you, nothing is more attractive in the Philippines than unzipping your pants and whipping out your fat citizenship. Like you to bomb is a compliment in America, but an argument in the Middle East. For example, some guys are into fat chicks, and if you like to pound one out to Lizzo in a onesie, you do you. Sure, God could download all the answers in the universe into us like some sort of human USB drive. It's kind of a buzzkill to be like, hey, are we about to do it? Because I need 20 minutes to fire hose my Hershey Highway. Buffs, Krishna. Debuffs, reality. Smoking ink is basically speed running your way to cancer. He's like, I got you, fam. Just come back to my place. You once dreamed of riding down a water slide from your 12-bedroom mansion into a lazy river filled with topless stars, but you decided to settle down early, marry some girl who peaked in high school, and have 2 kids you're pretty sure aren't even yours. IQ, average. They recently landed a rocket on the moon, and yet half their population can't even spell rocket. You think, what if I don't escape this? What if this is my life now? What if I'm trapped in a closet on Jeffrey Epstein's island? I know you're in there. Come out so we can talk. Gary is about to set a new high dive record at 2 feet. Let's see if he makes it. Well, it looks like Gary is drowning. Probably shouldn't have strapped himself into the chair first. Let's see if the lifeguard is able to save, and she's been knocked unconscious. Well, at least Gary will die doing what he loved, assaulting people trying to help him. So I continue to guzzle beer while taking little bitch sips from my juice box. 13. Jewish culture considers you an adult. Also, if you're a black kid in Texas, you'll be tried as an adult. And that's the type of person I am. A loving father. If you choose to serve our nation and protect our freedom, women will pretty much have to. Negative comments can hurt everyone. Well, everyone except me. You can make watching Offending Everybody till I laugh and sit there motionless like Kurt Cobain's corpse, but I'd still be like, come on, man. That sugar video was pretty good. Cough on her pillow, lick her doorknob, sneeze in her perfume bottle. Make sure that you're not the only one suffering. Is that the new iPhone? Damn, those sweatshop kids work hard. Even if you look like Post Malone's virgin cousin, a simple, well-fitting outfit can make you look like $1 million. Getting a woman to blow you is impressive. Getting a woman to risk her career, reputation, and jail time to blow you is godlike. If she had a celebrity look-alike, it'd be Amy Winehouse after the overdose. See, I respect women whoring themselves out for money. Like Autism Speaks Amaranth, showing off everything but a nip for subs. So to recap, I started doing Adderall illegally from someone who shouldn't have sold it to me. Now I'm doing Adderall legally, also from someone who shouldn't have sold it to me. Basketball is technically a non-contact sport, but just like prom, people be getting handsy. Okay. You think the cops are going to devote resources to finding a forgetful 83-year-old? I don't think so. I'd give it 1 week before they rule it natural causes. Seriously, what are the odds you found your soulmate after 5 days of swiping on Tinder? 4 billion bitches out there, and it turns out she's 6 miles away. I mean, sure, technically it's bestiality, but animals need love too. Get her used to playing with your joystick before you rev her engine. There is no better bonding experience than competing over who gets drunk the fastest. You're telling me Mr. Beast wouldn't get more views if he shaved his little dirty Sanchez mustache? Really? At least Chris had the decency to put on some makeup. You go from hard to flaccid every time she turns around. Your guy friends bust your chops for hitting on her. The only thing you care about is busting on her chops. You see, when you're young, you'll be getting a lot of NRBs or no reason boner. And you can't be walking around with a throbbing Dwayne the Cock Johnson. Are you seriously gonna let your parents tell you what to do? Your dad's a driver for FedEx and your mom had you in the back of a Beyonce concert. They're masters at making poor decisions. Get out of the way! I'm gonna be late! Please, miss. use our special line. Talks trash about other girls' hair when hers looks like she got it from My Autistic Pony. And if you can't get it up, it doesn't mean you're not a man. It just means you're buffering. Hammered, where sobriety test is beginning to look like the SATs. Thinking with your dick is why it's been 3 years since your last lay. You see, your dick will literally override your logic and find you the wrong girl. So I almost got shanked during a drug deal. But if you still don't feel comfortable having this furry time bomb waddling around your crib, then you can always have its scent glands removed. Which I'm pretty sure is when a doctor sprays Calvin Klein in his hand and just kind of finger bangs it for a bit. Next up, the UFC. So you could brag how safe your Prius is, but the only thing you'll be folding the seats down for is your Nezuko body pillow. Smoke begins to fill the bottle as Jimmy looks at us and says, "To the moon." Sex is the best thing that can happen to a guy. That's why a threesome is on every guy's bucket list. Because the only thing better than having sex with one person is having sex with two people.
Speaking of why are some of you doing it up the butt? I made a wet, delicious hole right next to it, and some of you are still choosing the Hershey Highway? It's smelly for a reason, so you know to stay away from it.
There is no guarantee there will be a tomorrow. Every day I see people looking down at their phones while driving. I'm like, damn, yo, I am one breakup text away from going over this bridge. Hey, nice cargo shorts.
Yeah, I like butterflies.
I'm like, this guy just expressed his incest fantasy to a stranger in public. Now, instead of seeing your donation, she feels your donation. Oh. So now is the perfect time to use their blue balls to your advantage for whatever size God made you in the assembly line. Personally, I would keep the baby. If it was white. Be honest, if you found a black baby on a ship, you'd keep driving too. Not in my neighborhood. If a KFC bucket can find love, you can too. Without sadness, we would not know happiness. Flying is the safest way to travel. I mean, more people die from Advil than plane crashes. Yet, I'm never popping a bottle like, "Today's the day!" Like the only way to catch herpes is by being too slow in the 40-yard dash. You could be a narcissistic, daddy didn't love me, Oompa Loompa who occasionally tries to overthrow democracy, but if you have enough money, you can still buy a dime piece. Losing your virginity is the day you become a man. Smashing two people at once is the day you become a god. So I'm not eating.
Do it and I'll let you titty fuck me.
Hey guys, you're not gonna believe this. I just created a universe where horses ride people.
Luck, Max. Aside from being a man in a first world country, you can't get much luckier than being white. And just remember, if you have the choice between licking a foot or starfish, go with the foot. Your brain wants someone you can laugh with, who makes you a better person. Your junk wants a slut who doesn't think twice about going ass to mouth. And if anything says you're rich, it's hitting women and getting away with it. Followed by white teeth. Your restless leg syndrome isn't cute, it's a sign of war. And I don't know about you guys, but there are some things that are challenging in life. Losing a loved one, getting rejected for a job, not being able to say that's what she said when the dentist tells you to swallow. NRB or no reason boner, where you get rock hard even when you're not thinking of anything sexual.
Zooted, which is like slipping a surprise finger up the poop chute during sex. You got where you needed to be, but then you took it too far and ruined it.
Every alien should be packing not only a death ray, but also a rape ray, where you immediately start raping everything in front of you. A rock, a car, your nephew. I'm so sorry, Billy. A random pill could be ecstasy or birth control. And I don't want to be having hot flashes at Coachella. $10,000. But whenever I see a child running, I just want to trip them. Best of all, their ovaries are drier than a Nature Valley bar. Living to 100 is like entering cheat codes, and that laws no longer apply to you. You know what offends me? The slogan autism speaks. No, it doesn't. Bleh. Is a noise, not a word. I could shake a bunch of maracas, but I'm not holding a conversation. How else would it be spelt, you dyslexic Pop-Tart? What if it's your dream girl, a 5'5" Asian chick with big anime titties who never has a headache? You're really gonna turn her away for sucking one too many? Really? They still believe in fairy tales, like Santa will give them presents, and if they lose their gag reflex, they'll get into heaven. Tommy is basically the Michael Cera of streamers, proving you don't need talent to be successful, you just need to be relatable. So make sure to dim the lights, play some music, and hide your Nezuko body pillow. Their HP is very low. They have the worst life expectancy out of all the races, probably because a shaman shaking maracas doesn't help cure cancer. Speed, high, but not high enough to escape their masters, apparently. It's like the algorithm bent over and said, "Go ahead, take it." Luck, horrible. If you're a girl, you've probably been groped on a train. And if you're a guy, you can't even grope someone without them complaining. The most offensive username, which was Bible Camp Victim. A Karen will ruin their own lives just to try to hurt somebody else's. Andrew is just cornering the chronic masturbator market, where a simp on a Discord server tells you how much you suck. Hey, do you want to listen to Taylor Swift? Stacy is getting an abortion. I don't think this is the right... I just want to go back to a time when double fisting meant 2 ice cream cones at McDonald's instead of trying to jerk my way out of poverty. I got you some McDonald's, Dad. Oh, Billy, that was really sweet of you. Shh. Keep eating. It's like having the choice between Biden or Trump. Like it's either a senile old man who keeps falling down or a guy who's actively trying to overthrow democracy. All while waving around the knife. A bath is a great way to relax and remind yourself how great it is not living in Africa. I mean, they can't even find clean drinking water as you're laying in 40 gallons of it. Oh, man. Oh, it gets me every time. Think of it like raw-dogging farm animals. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually you're gonna get caught by a pig. Because YouTube has been fisting me hard lately, and I really need to buy some lube. Emotion! No! Charlie's my friend. He wouldn't do that. And admitting he's wrong would be admitting I'm wrong. And I can't be wrong! Which would you rather, a new iPhone or a hottie to bone? That's right, I'd rather be flicking her apps. And you know Autism Speaks is sponsored by Build-A-Bear? How is a child gonna hug a bear whose arms are crossed the entire time? He climbed fire escapes, punched himself in the balls, got suplexed on beer pong tables. Stop telling people what they should do with their body, Fox News. And just remember, puberty is like Asian parents, where it's gonna hit you no matter what. They wish they could slap their kid in the face without having Child Protective Services called on them, but they can't. What if you're blind? Do you go from seeing darkness to seeing the shame on your grandparents' face as you tell them you switched genders? Oh, that's real childish.
Did you say child?
Oh my god, fucking relax, Jeff. I said childish. A half-naked guy pouring lettuce all over himself. 2, another half-naked guy biting his lower lip while holding a pineapple in front of his junk. And 3, a girl pretending to deep-throat 2 bananas while wearing a bra with watermelons on it. And special ability, obviously, tax-free land. Like recently I brought this drink called Body Armor Light. There's 20 calories, some vitamins, and almost no sugar. So I'm thinking, oh, this has gotta be good for me. But after drinking one, my body 2 hours later is like, more. I want more! Just remember, if you want to smash a kitty, make sure your balls are pretty.
Jesus is having ballet practice and wants me to come watch. And you know, it's not like I'm intolerant or anything. I just wish he picked something else.
Earthquake? Oh, how did I forget to mention that? It's like my favorite one. So I thought it'd be really funny if out of nowhere, the ground starts violently shaking.
What the fuck? Having a baby is ultimately what every girl wants. Why figure out my purpose in life when I can just have one nut in me? If you get fat, I'm leaving you. Sure, it might be easier for a girl to get laid, but it's also way easier for them to get killed. And I take an occasional blue balls over fearing for my life. Mexico's favorite sport isn't soccer. It's cross country. Anyone who's done hard drugs will tell you how their brain isn't thinking correctly when they're on it. Well, being horny is the same thing. You know how unsettling it'd be to walk down the street at night knowing you're just one bear hug away from being completely incapacitated? You're so cute when you struggle. And even if they do pork, good luck getting pregnant. Their average penis size is 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters! Lady Gaga's dick is bigger than that. You think country clubs in the 90s were open to all race and genders? This washer's for whites only. So that afternoon, I went to Spencer's and bought the biggest dildo I could afford. Hey Steve, you mind if I rap you? I didn't hear a no. And the more woke society gets, the more it tries to force you to look at ugly people. Peer pressure. To it, no balls. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. If you feel the power of the Holy Spirit inside of you, give me a praise, Jesus! Do you know that zoos will use panda porn to try to get them to mate? Terrible! I should have known they were the special needs airline by that short yellow bus they're driving. Anyway, she's twerking in front of a giant mirror covered in fingerprints and, I'm assuming, hepatitis. Both celebs have received a lot of pushback, with people calling them stupid, idiot, f***ing moron. Maybe we, humans, are the only ones that can help each other. I don't see you outside of Home Depot showing off like you're a bodybuilder at a slave auction. You can park in front of any store, get to skip the lines at Disney World, and when you're tired, you can have someone drive you around.
Oh, me damn it, what is it?
Speaking of chins, what is happening to Zac Efron's face? The dude went from sex icon to Minecraft Steve.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that watched his own son get whipped, beaten, and tortured in order to save mankind when he could have just sent out a fucking memo? That's the guy? You want to ask for help? Oh, okay, fine. Let me just give him a call. Hey, Dad?
You know those infectious smiles that makes you want to smile yourself?
Nothing in life is free.
And a crossbow is the ultimate in big energy. Or sometimes I think about putting a parakeet in a juicer, or a gerbil in a microwave, or how far can I punt this puppy? And just remember, littering has consequences. No! Apparently America loves the sound of a llama getting pegged. Everybody, look at Billy's amputated leg. Hobbling ass bitch. I'm sorry, Billy. I'd love to fix your vision, but Jesus wants you to be blind. In college, I was friends with 2 identical twins, Alex and Tom. They were both nice guys, and looking back on it, I was definitely a bad influence on them. Like whenever I'm at the beach, I just think about throwing razor blades in the sand. Like not enough to shut it down, but enough to make you regret diving for that volleyball. Like sometimes I'll be taking a piss and I find myself scrolling through TikTok. I'm like, God damn, I can't even tinkle for 45 seconds without being like, stimulus. I need stimulus! A shotgun is like the big of guns. Usually called white names, just pronounced poorly. No, it's Stephanie. The only 10 you'll see is stuck between Diamond's C-section scar. If the thought of people masturbating doesn't upset you, then Uber driver may be the job for you. So guys, just remember, nothing will fuck up your life more than having a baby with the wrong girl. Who gives a shit about the new Marvel movie when Miss Sullivan is sticking cell phones up her cooter? Sugar is one of the most addictive substances on the planet. And just like kicking a homeless person, once you start, you just can't stop. Even though you're pretty sure ball tickling isn't a pin technique. I find that offensive is one of the dumbest phrases in the human language. How is putting a push-up bra on a child not fucking illegal. Having a conversation with them would be like teaching Vin Diesel calculus. Like, sorry, the answer is in Cargo's room. You see, being horny puts a cloud in your brain and you're not thinking correctly. Nothing amplifies this more than dogging with a stranger, where you start gambling on 30 seconds of pleasure being worth 18 years of child support.
In 1982, John Belushi died from an overdose of cocaine and heroin. Right before he died, he said,
Getting drunk is fun, but just like DMing your friend's ex, it has consequences. Like, what if you banged your cousin? Oh. I know, it's disgusting, but what if your cousin's Angela White? Yeah, you see that deep V and start having second thoughts. How would he even smash? Was there like a reverse playground where a slide leads up to a crying child in a swing? Like if you zoomed in on the guy jumping out of the building on 9/11, you'd probably see a huge smile on his face. Asking for permission to kiss is the most beta thing you can do. Might as well throw some sand in a cooch, because believe me, it'll be dry.
Also, side note, 3/4 of them have chlamydia. So if your girlfriend gets suspicious, just blame it on a petting zoo.
You know what Oprah always says? Happy butthole, happy life. Hey, be a doll and take a picture of my Jewish cousin. Everyone say karma. Karma.
Karma.
America. You can't be a good parent to 5 kids, let alone 14. I hope one of them grows up to be a carpenter. That way they can staple their mom's pussy shut. What if your kid has Down syndrome? Can you just Kobe it in the trash can and try again? You think having an extra 10 inches slam against her lungs feels good? Her cough isn't from the Rona, it's from that bona. One time I'm on the computer taking myself to Pound Town when all of a sudden the guy goes up to spider crab mode and starts offering his salad as an appetizer. Then slip little notes on her desk of, hey, can I see you after school? Now if you like to spank it to the Special Olympics, you do you. But I'd rather smash someone that can take a piss without biting their tongue. They'll wear 2 pounds of makeup while preaching, you should love yourself. Like, bitch, you hated your face, so you drew on a new one. Be like if I drew abs on myself, like, check out my 6-pack. Oh, my bad, it's real hot out today. There we go. She thinks she's handing you the D, when in reality, it'll be you giving the D. Murder your spouse, beat a singer, try to overthrow democracy. When you have money, you can just make all your problems go away. He's looking at me like, speed good? And I'm like, no, sped bad. This guy thinks he's more powerful than the sun. The fucking sun. If Pocahontas was smart, she would have blown her way to the top. Honey pot the enemy into revealing some of their war plans. But instead, she was too busy getting her clam wet, as her people were the ones actually getting fucked. Hey, what's the most unrealistic thing about Harry Potter? What? A ginger had 2 friends. Trying to please a woman is like paying taxes. You could just tell me what needs to get done, yet I'm the one that needs to figure it out. This show should rebrand itself as Surprise CPS, where as soon as a parent forces their child into booty shorts, surprise, CPS shows up. If an apocalypse happens, the first place I'm headed to is Foot Locker. So please take How to Increase the Size of Your Junk or How to Touch Your First Boobie and make your own subpar version. Because this is America. And if you want something, it's your God-given right to take it! My friend recently had a baby. Well, he didn't, his fiance did. Seems a little disingenuous to say a 10-second pump and dump is the same as 8 hours of labor. So I ask if he knows anyone that can hook me up with a pound. He says, oh, I got a guy. I'm like, do you trust him? He's like, oh yeah, he's legit. Spoiler alert, he wasn't fucking legit. Homework? No. Traffic laws? No. Inevitable early death? No. Like, I definitely used to make fun of alcoholics. Like, oh, not drinking 12 shots of Jaeger must be so difficult. Please, tell me about your disease.
Why? You're not a homo, right?
No, but...
Good. To be honest, I really hate those people. I'm glad I made their hole smelly.
And I said, oh... So you're a whore. Sure, every time you say hustle, sweet cheeks, a part of them dies, but like my mute girlfriend, they can't say no. The next day at school, of course I had to brag to all my friends. Most of them had never even seen a before. And I'm showing them spreadsheets like, take a look at this one.
Oh, look at that.
And this one.
No way. Oh my God.
And you're not gonna believe this one. Do they all look like ham sandwiches? But if she's smiling, laughing, slowly caressing her nipples, then it's probably a good sign that she's into you. And dogs are like a cheat code for I'm like, okay, it's probably not a big deal. I mean, she's probably on the pill. I mean, everyone's on the pill. I mean, why would she not be on the pill? You see, humans need answers, and if we don't know it, we're sure she's gonna make it up. God, please tell Father Cunningham to use holy water next time. I'm so sore. I'm not even sure how she finds a chair big enough without Miss Pac-Manning it. Push her overboard in a cruise ship, replace her heart medication with Skittles, wait till she's taken a bath, then toss in a toaster. Kobe! The only downside is like a hamster's pussy, it isn't reusable. I think we've all seen that video of a Tesla hitting the child dummy. You're gonna tell me taking an insulin shot before swallowing Grandpa's salty balls isn't work? Don't be upset they figured out a loophole of offering their hole. Aside from kids, another thing that will ruin your life fast is stids. You think it's hard getting laid now? Try having AIDS. If your girlfriend gives you a free blowy, know you'll end up paying for it later. AI is gonna kill us. Or improve society. I'm not quite sure yet. With his walking boots still on, he runs into the street yelling nonsense. People at the party are freaking out, yelling, Jimmy, what are you doing? Which would you rather slay, 10 dragons or 1 princess? Yeah, take the dime piece every time. 2 cars under an overpass at 2 a.m. screams either drug deal or I'm paying someone to blow me. Either way, I'm not getting violated with no witnesses. Debuffs? Sorry, Asians. God did you dirty in the Johnson department. Buffs? Luckily to balance it out, he made every Asian child size. Number 7, own property. And no, I'm not talking about your East African friend. To me, anyone buying less than an ounce was a crackhead, and you never sell to crackheads. He's basically a roided up LeBron James. I'm sorry, a more roided up LeBron James. Luck? Terrible. To go from slavery to segregation to finally getting your own Band-Aid color is pretty unlucky. Pussy is the ultimate distraction. You could pick up your brother from soccer practice, or you could try to score your own goal. He'll be fine. Besides, it's not raining that hard. Wait, I'll just do what got me here and cheat. There's a reason Mariah Carey named her shoe collection F the Poor, and to women, money is the ultimate aphrodisiac. And sorry, they don't make Febreze for your asshole. My balls were dry for 17 years, and I just wanted some dome. You could argue I didn't know what I was missing, but I heard good things. The reviews for blowies are in, and it's overwhelmingly positive. If they made a tier list, it would be men, house cat, then women. Why do you think fat black women are so happy? It's because they love themselves. Is that what you want? To love yourself?
You're either a right-wing extremist or a left-wing radical. You're either going to heaven or going to hell. You're either trans or normal. Those are the only options! Oh, but I paid off my student loans. Why should others get a free ride? That's like saying I was bediddled, so therefore others should suffer. Gotta pay your dues, Billy.
Whether it's a cozy corner in a park, or a quiet coffee shop, or a boat in the middle of the ocean, where she can't say no.
Because of the implication.
So much in life is about luck. Like, I'm sure LeBron James has worked super hard to get where he's at, but if he was born 150 years earlier, the only free throw he'd be shooting is cotton in his master's bag. We all know mental warfare is worse than physical, so learning to laugh off any insult is something we can all get better at. Isn't that right, Billy?
Oh yeah. Just keep typing.
Hassan is basically a mega pastor. He preaches about generosity and giving while using your money to buy mansions and luxury cars, setting up the double standard that it's okay to assault someone as long as you use a foam hand. That's why all charges were dropped when Tigger gave me a handy behind Space Mountain. You know the wonderful thing about Tiggers?
They keep their mouths shut.
Ugh, cringe. All the opportunities in the world, and their brain is like, time to ruin this. Now every time we're at a party, I gotta make sure her 5th shot of Jaeger doesn't turn into her blowing some frat guy named Jaeger. Hide your boner. Why give him childhood trauma that will impact all of his future relationships when I can give him high fives instead? For guys, it puts a cloud in our brain where we're like, I gotta put it in. I need a broken girl who accepts emotional abuse because she feels like she deserves it.
You don't remember what you had for breakfast, get into arguments with people on the internet, and spend most of your money on nicotine. You don't think in a way AI is already smarter than us?
Develops a substance abuse problem and eventually realizes ignorance is bliss. You're now a full-blown addict, willing to trade jobs for Starbucks gift cards. This doesn't normally happen to me.
There. You tried your best. Would you like me to eat your butt now?
Yeah. Hold on, let me just get my pistol. I can never find anything in here. Damn titties be fire. Being horny gives what I like to call pussy blinders, where all you see is thirsty thoughts. The best part is that's just ad revenue. That doesn't include any books, courses, or big pills you're selling to your desperate fan base. Pause. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You're 16, she's 24. Is it illegal? Yes. But is it wrong? Well, also yes. Oh, if only I added animations to my stick figure animation channel.
What's your thoughts on tossing salad in the morning?
Always amazes me how a girl can be like, I don't like my face. You know what? I'll just draw on a new one. If you could suck a dick for a jet ski, then you'd already be on your knees looking like a snake during feeding time. Do it. Just do it. Stop being a pussy. She's right there. Do it. Do it. Do it! He ended up turning his life around and is now a guidance counselor. I'm kidding. He's dead. Nothing beats slapping around those buns, letting the juices drip in your mouth, all while adding your special mayo. So can you just stalk anyone with a social media account? If so, I'm ready to take down my curtains and show you a helicopter disaster worse than the one that killed Kobe. People who litter. Easiest way to show the world you're the real trash. Tommy is rich. He's basically living a dream. I'm sorry, I meant to say living in dream. Probably testing out that backdoor server. Men don't jack off because we want to. We jack off because we have to. It's like a compulsion in our brains where we're like, I gotta put it in. They're monsters with a good publicist. Why don't they show you pictures like this? Or this? Or this? All I do is jack up the whiteness to 10. Gosh darn it, officer. I am so sorry. I made a little whoopsie-daisy when I ran over those black children.
Would you punch a baby to sleep with Margot Robbie?
Being poor sucks, and nothing will deep-throat you like poverty. Pressing his lips against you saying, give me everything you got! Do I need plastic surgery or therapy? Well, like Mom to Cougar, it's a real fine line. Who would have guessed telling a guy he can't have sex than putting him alone in a room with little boys would go off the rails? And which would you rather? Cry when you see your uncle, or cry every time you look in the mirror?
Well, what about the devil? Is he around? Of course. You see him all the time in the news. Who? AOC. The Congresswoman?
Congress demon, okay? He gets really upset when you assume his gender.
Where's the white LeBron James? Well, that's right. He doesn't exist. Every time a white person has the ball, you can hear the coach yell, pass it to the darkie! Now, I'm not a gambler, unless you count spoon-feeding drinks into a girl with daddy issues. Imagine every birthday your sister looks up and sees eat Becky above her house. And you learn a lot about special needs kids. Like if you believe hard enough, you can swallow a full stapler. Just because you're willing to let any busted clown play with your skin flute doesn't make you more of a man.
Now, both of you, shoo! Get out.
De donde está el condom? I'm sorry, I don't speak your ooga booga language. Now, do you want this green card or not? Eventually, I was able to ride her splash mountain, but unfortunately, there was a lot of dead fish in a river, if you catch my drift. It's either Putin or the guy who mysteriously keeps getting poisoned. Is putting pants on a dog torture? Of course, but it's also adorable. And if America taught me anything, it's suffering is profitable. Think about the jubilation after an announcer yells, you're always one laugh away from either motorboating or being charged with groping. I'm already rock hard watching Minions: The Rise of Gru. Might as well show my girl this Twinkie's cream filling. Sober me found Tracy to be a 6, but tipsy me, Tracy moved to a 7 real fast. He's like, I should have left you in that hole. And the word hole echoed in my brain. Hey Billy, tell me how you doing.
Well, where to begin? Well, my jaw hurts.
And we're out of time. But don't worry, because I got a special gift for you. The smartest man in the world is on the other side of that door, and you get to meet him. Now come on, loosen up that jaw. So all your Star Wars posters, Funko Pops, and especially your Nezuko body pillow. I mean, have you ever wanted to bully a kid more?
Oh, that must mean I'm a woke liberal snowflake.
Wrong. If you're a guy, I know a bath seems pretty lame, but it's the only time you're getting your dick wet anytime soon, so you might as well take it. You know, it's ironic, because my biggest fear is drowning, while my biggest turn-on is being suffocated by a girl's Tonka truck. 9/11, the Holocaust, the Kardashians. Now, some people are going to get upset over your parenting skills, but just respond back with, hey, I don't tell you how to raise your toaster. And I don't know if you heard, but Texas does not let you click that abort button. So if I get some thirsty thought preggers, I'm gonna have to keep it. Well, unless I find some stairs that are, slippery. 70. This is the best time to look over your will and remember all the people that you hate. Your sister who always made fun of your weight. Your daughter who married a Jew. Your grandson who claims he's now your granddaughter. But like your crush dumping her boyfriend, there is some hope on the horizon.
One tree. I asked you to stay away from one f***ing tree, and you couldn't even do that.
I said over easy, you nutless monkey. Pick it up. Pick it up!
Jesus, I need medication or I'm gonna die.
There's some things more important than your medication.
Like what?
Corporate profits.
Let's face it, you're not feeling great and left in front of a computer for hours. Might as well get a quick dopamine fix. Special ability, winning. White people are like a DLC character that's just better than the rest of the cast. Don't believe me? Go to any museum and check out our KD ratio. Like Andrew Tate, we also had a huge rat problem. Number 1, clean everything. Your balls, your sheets, your balls again. And immediately, I'm like, this motherfucker is trying to literally prey on my sadness to earn more money. Clickers or schizophrenic people feverishly masturbating. Funeral homes are evil businesses that exploit grief for profit.
And some of you have even been putting your mouths on it.
Speed, above average. Unless it involves their Nezuko body pillow, then it's feverish. Pretty please, daddy, isn't gonna get you free stuff as an adult. Well, unless you got a nice pair of fun bags, or can deep squat for longer than 2 minutes. Sure, the first few times regular intercourse will do, but it's not gonna be enough to get you off by day 3. What's even the point of having nice things if you can't shove it in people's faces? So it's not surprising that your brain craves it.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, but believe me, it's fine, thank you.
But I wouldn't mind a blowjob right now. So if someone is attracted to young kids, the only solution is the final solution. Kissing someone is wonderful, and it's even better when they're alive. Shh, I bet there's no bullets. I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong. No one is dying and thinking about their Gucci belt unless it's wrapped around their neck.
Speaking of school shootings, though, someone should really do something about that.
You should do something about that.
Just remember, nothing will make a drier than cargo pants with some Crocs. While on the topic of holes, oh my god, is that a camera? No, I don't want any attention. There's no better side hustle than star. Getting your dick sucked and getting paid? Talk about a good Tuesday. How do you accidentally overdose? You can accidentally slip and fall or choke on some broccoli, but how do you accidentally ingest alcohol, cocaine, and fentanyl? Eyes look like they popped E, can't stop going to the bathroom, doesn't hide when there's a school shooter because they're too busy focusing on the sweat bead going down Miss Sullivan's chest.
And religious women are pretty easy to seduce. Think about it. They like to be told what to do and not to ask questions.
If Hitler made his life goal to exterminate mosquitoes instead of Jews, he would have statues named after him, and not just a Kanye clothing brand. You're gonna have to take one if you want to make it. I love it when you cry. Logan Paul sells drugs to kids. I got a sofa that feels like you're floating on fun bags, a massive TV to watch corn on, a bidet that feels like a stroke victim is tossing your salad. Do something cute like grabbing her hand while walking through a crowd, or show off your fingering skills by having a thumb war. I was here first. Eat a bag of dicks. I ain't moving. What did you say to me? Mother... Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Kyrie Irving said the earth is flat, and he's an athlete. When has an athlete ever been wrong about science, huh? I mean, sure, he could just pay a pilot 10 grand to fly him to the ice wall and prove all the haters wrong, but why bother? Painted his dick like a banana. Like, bitch, what are you doing? You're not even top 200 in Fortnite. Simps only watch you because they think their tier 3 sub will get them a pity hand job at TwitchCon. What I'm really saying is, most people think white is the superior color. So let's all stop giving a poop. Because if you don't, you're not getting into heaven. Flight attendants said they were having some sewage issues, but should be resolved before departure. I'm thinking should be. Better be! Folgers. Taste the suffering. First, they John Mayer their way through the population, mating with as many females as possible. As I'm waiting, a large black woman starts cutting lines saying she's gonna miss her flight. Nowadays, a quarterback is like a virgin. You want to get rough, but all you can do is lightly touch. Like no matter how many times I kept finger banging my throat, I just couldn't make myself throw up. Number 4, roaches. And no, I'm not talking about Andrew Tate. The kid that judges what women do with their bodies while simultaneously letting the government decide what's done with his. A dog is basically a Dyson vacuum for Now, we all know how easy it is to get something stuck up our butts. Who hasn't sat down aggressively on common household objects while pantsless? Religion is all about pretending to be a good person while pressing the elevator close button. I thought you wanted a porn star in the bedroom. Well, how is she going to be good at it if she doesn't get the reps in? Then title it something like Top 10 Students I Pork, or Porkin' Students Be Like, or Send Me a Nice Dono in Your Home Address and I'll think about it, winky face. If I was being sodomized right now and the only way I could contact the cops was through text, I would still only use 2 exclamation points.
A kid in my high school scored 1580 on his SATs, then overdosed on Valium a few weeks later. You're gonna tell me he's smarter than me? I only scored an 1100 and somehow figured out not to take a fistful of pills.
How else are we supposed to warn rich black men not to think with their dicks? Right now I should be doing my taxes, but I'm too distracted by thoughts and Instagram deep-throating popsicle sticks. Do hoes not get brain freezes? I remember looking into his little eyes, thinking how beautiful the gift of life is. Then I looked up to see my buddy's porch and wondered how far I could toss him. Number 5, Elon Musk needs to shut the f*** up. I've seen some pretty disturbing movies. The Human Centipede, The Hills Have Eyes, the Emoji Movie. Now recently XQC has come under fire for making a react video about war-torn citizens also coming under fire.
You have any idea what they'll do if they catch us? You'd be lucky if they just raped and beat you to death.
With a genus species name of Facus cuntus, so the next time you see a poor person at the airport, do the right thing and treat them like they're crippled.
Steve.
Restaurants are filthy, and just like going to mouth, it's best not to think about it.
But that only counts as one.
Okay, have fun telling you blue balls that. And if you're a pedo looking for a job, why would you not want to be a priest? You're left alone with impressionable young men, there doesn't seem to be any background checks, and your supervisor never shows up to work. Karens, slow walkers, people who brag about CrossFit when post-nut clarity hits hard. Hey Dad, 2-part question. Why are you so ugly, and where are my snacks? Anything can be funny. Well, everything except abortion jokes, which by definition have no delivery.
So you believe that a cosmic Jewish zombie can make you live forever if you symbolically eat his flesh and telepathically tell him that you accept him as your master so he can remove an evil force from your soul that is present in humanity because a rib woman was convinced by a talking snake to eat from a magical tree.
Barely anyone is special. Those who are nibble on their own hands. And lastly, if you have absolutely no respect for your body, you could just be Nikocado Avocado. 5. You start kindergarten. And if you're in America, now would be a good time to practice your school shooting drills.
I'm gonna fucking kill you kids.
I just wanted to finger paint. No, wait, it's gotta be getting into Twitter beefs with teenage girls that question the size of your Johnson. Can't be a soy boy little bitch. You gotta be a man.
IHOP cheeseburger omelet, 2,000 calories. Shake Shack double burger, 2,200 calories. Nicki Minaj's coochie, surprisingly, 124 calories.
Probably from all the fish. If a woman isn't financially independent or emotionally resilient, you're gonna find yourself as more of a caretaker than a partner. But none of them made me feel better, because true happiness comes from people. The experiences and connections you make with one another. Road trips with the homies, cuddling after lovemaking, 2 a.m. conversations in the back of your friend's car are the reasons life is worth living. Now, hanging out with your friends is great, but you know what's better? That's right, a job.
Overall, drinking is probably the worst drug to combine with anything.
Right now, China is using facial recognition technology to spy on its citizens, which is incredible because most Chinese people look alike. Spoiler alert, luck doesn't exist. If it did, your dad would have decided to pull out years ago. You see, boobs are like the sun. You can only stare at them directly for a few seconds, but if you put on sunglasses, you can stare at them as much as you want. For Christ's sake, we came up with whores for you. It's the perfect combo of both good and bad.
Is it hot here? No.
That can't even get your name right. And sure, she has dementia, but that's no excuse excuse. She doesn't remember you because she hates you and wishes you were gone. Think of it like getting your period every day. Except we don't gotta wait 3 days for it to go away. We just gotta watch Angela White show off her teaching skills. And campus police were like boners in 5th grade. They would just randomly show up. That's probably the blackmail he has in the Donald. Not a PP tape, but some Brokeback Mountain video of the two of them. You think Baby Yoda is traveling across galaxies just to f*** or bang your poop chute? Because to a woman, feelings equal fact. The day your PP starts standing up is the day your life changes forever. You're gonna tell me this girl wasn't born with a disability? Okay, what about now? Mom, I'm tired. You can get a break when you start acting surprised. Now stuff Fido back in the box and let's try this again. Help some surgeon with Parkinson's realize this may not be the best career choice for her, allowing you to inhale melted steel while also destroying your silverware. He just starts punching the screen till there's enough space to fit through and jumps out. He crashes a story below into a bush and starts wailing. Families are overrated. They are. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Really think about his options at 12 years old. It's either streaming or fistful of pills from his mom's medicine cabinet.
But you don't have kids. Well, what if you do have kids? Make her fall for you first, then reveal them later. It's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
If she feels like you're cheating on her because she had a dream about it, then you're guilty until proven innocent. Happiness? Pretty high, which is surprising considering they spend most of the game completing escort missions.
And a dog is the ultimate resource.
It's like a handbag you can pet, or a child you can torture. You see, every breadcrumb of weed is valuable when you're poor. She looked like an anime character where her tits were way bigger than the rest of her body. Millie Bobby Brown, star of Stranger Things and future overdose victim. You're telling me you're not the CEO of McDonald's, you broken ice cream machine? And just remember, girls, the most attractive thing you can put on your ears are your knees. Before modern medicine, everything killed people. You'd be lucky if someone was willing to touch that Jackson Pollock you call a face. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to like the Offending Everybody Instagram page so I can feel your support. If you could flash your nuts for a jet ski, then you'd be out there like a squirrel during feeding time. I'm just a company who cares not only about earning tons of money, but people too. But as a kid, you don't gotta worry about some poison in your brain always screaming, "Put it in!" Because compliments are like water to women, and they're always thirsty for validation. Get a life, you loser. That's why you gotta be as close as possible before going in. I could barely drag myself to the bathroom the next morning, let alone Shawshanking myself to freedom. Capitalism doesn't reward hard work. It rewards you for exploiting other people's hard work. This is your fault, if anything. Now, go think about what you did, but don't touch yourself to the thought of another man!
Steve, I love you, man.
Okay, I got it.
No, I really love you.
You ain't been doing the education.
Open up the overhead compartment to find a baby stroller that has liquid dripping from it. Is it milk, pee, splooge from a curious uncle? Who knows? So I call her up and she tells me, I'm pregnant. I mean, who gives a shit about Fortnite when Miss Sullivan's putting loot in her box? About to get sweaty. How can you sell something almost 50% sugar to children and not expect some health problems? That's like bringing crystal meth cupcakes to the church bake sale being like, why are so many kids tweaking? Because the older I get, the more I think about what my purpose is in life. How about you rescue the three-legged pit bull with vengeance in his eyes? No? You're gonna go with the golden retriever instead? Which do you think needs the most help, Becky? No one gets slapped in the face and doesn't immediately change their behavior. And just because you didn't pull out 7 years ago doesn't mean everyone in Target should suffer. You see, it's not like nowadays where some white woman in an All Lives Matter shirt teaches you simple can of butter recipes while occasionally throwing in how all black people are criminals. The DEA is standing there like a dominatrix. You go when I say you can go. You think they want to run through a cornfield just to find the scarecrow? Women don't want the truth. If they did, they wouldn't ask stupid questions like, do I look fat in these pants? Or do you think my sister is prettier than me? Like, of course she's prettier. Mostly because she's not fat. Sugar is when a glucose molecule decides to stick it in a fructose molecule, causing it to have a butt baby of sucrose. Who wants 3-position vanilla when you can have every whole chocolate? Guy who insults you for liking Star Wars, yet has an entire room dedicated to sweaty men. Liberals don't want the government to tell them what they can do with their bodies, and conservatives are pro-death penalty. This should be the one topic that unifies us. Speaking of drawing, I love playing this fun little game with my girlfriend where I connect all the moles on her back. If she found out, she'd be so furious. Luck, terrible. You're so close to America, and yet so far. So even if your girl looks like a pregnant dolphin, make sure to tell her she's gorgeous, or you're never touching that blowhole again. I'm like, alcohol, you evil bitch. Why would you do this? So the next time you're in a dark alley and come face to face with a baby, my advice to you is don't hesitate and pull the trigger. Next on the list, the magician David Copperfield. More like David Copperfield, am I right? Oh, you're hungry, Bill? How about all you can eat? Yes, feed my little piggy.
A suit is like a push-up bra for men.
Say Caitlyn Jenner's a hero or I'm flagging all your TikTok content. Hey, Tom, have you met my son? Yeah. When he was a child, you tried to have your way with him, remember?
What? No.
Wait, I'm gonna have to stop you there. Lying's gonna get you a taste. Rihanna's booty hole. And is there anything more disgusting than children? Why be asleep when I could be awoke? They're always studying for exams like their life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Money solves all problems. Now, anytime you see a phone, you can take a selfie of their terrified reaction as you turn their car into the guardrail. And I can't even eat one Big Mac without feeling like I'm having a miscarriage. Tyler 1. He's like a preteen. He gets overly emotional about things that don't matter and likes to show off pics of his titties. You're praying Father Cunningham stops touching you, while Father Cunningham is praying, you keep your mouth shut. You can no longer eat cereal, and you're afraid holding your friend's baby might result in a
fatality.
Like, why don't you go outside and huff some paint? Because you clearly don't understand how probability works.
God created everything and everyone ever known, yet can't be bothered to show up for 2 seconds like, guys, quit it. Quit it.
R. Kelly was convicted of child pornography, but have you heard I Believe I Can Fly? It's a banger. I've listened to that song ever since I was a young boy. Almost as young as his victims. One of the most successful bands ever to exist has criticism living rent-free in their head for 20 years. She didn't have a car at the time and would pay for my gas fare to come visit her. So when you think about it, guys are technically paying me to have sex with her. Dating someone with a kid is like playing a game another guy half completed. Like, bitch, I don't want to play with your save file. I want my own. How are you going to tell me he's not paralyzed? He's got CTE. He's basically half retarded.
So stop thinking hard work is how you become successful. Mexicans are some of the hardest workers out there, and I can't think of one CEO named Jesus.
Because the only way you can beat hate is with love. Your dirty love. Or during that intimate moment when you go to make the first move on your crush and hear, Bill Cosby did nothing wrong. Start having her think twice about what was in that wine. Smoking tobacco can be traced all the way back to the early 16th century, where Native Americans traded settlers' peace pipes for AIDS blankets.
You look like you had a rough day. Come here and let me blow you.
Halo around his portrait at the funeral. Really? 11 shots of Jaeger, driving 100 miles an hour with no seatbelt, and that's God's chosen child? Okay. Koreans have the highest self-slaughter rate, which might be because of their parents. Korean parents are born with disappointment in their children, which is a great motivator if you want your kid to become a CEO, so he can jump from a higher window. OnlyFans. The perfect job for fire teachers. What does a child even need caffeine for? They can already wake up at 7 a.m. without having the desire to kill their girlfriend. Next up, most wins, which we all know belongs to the whites. And for anyone that knows me, at times, I can say some pretty offensive things. Is white the dumbest color a sneaker could be? Of course. But women aren't into practical things like cargo pants or honesty. You should be able to do whatever you want with your body. And I should be able to call you whatever name I want. You see, I have this superpower where I can make anyone absolutely furious. I try not to use this power, but like the Hulk getting angry, sometimes I lose control. Guys, I'm not anti-Semitic. If you just read a little bit of Mein Kampf, you see that I'm totally right. Experts, people who sacrifice easy college just to have degrees in that shit. Talks about made-up threats to our country like wokeism and CRT while disregarding the military-industrial complex. Eventually, more research came out linking sugar to an increased risk of cancer, cavities, diabetes, obesity, basically anything that makes a person unfuckable. If a squirrel can avoid a 3-ton death machine, then little Billy can too. And I'm a peaceful guy, but if someone's snoring next to me, I contemplate manslaughter. Congested or not, this pillow is about to solve both of our problems. Okay, I have something to tell you. I'm like, stids or kids? She says, what? I said, well, usually when a girl says that, she's about to reveal she either has an STD or kids. Suffocation. Finally, after years of hard work, you can relax and do what you've always wanted. Find ways to kill your wife. So listen, I'll make you a deal. If you promise that kids are no longer on the table, we'll let you go. Okay? Say it with me, all right? I promise.
I promise?
That kids are no longer...
That kids are no longer...
Wait. What's that smell? It smells like Rihanna's...
No.
Booty.
No.
Oh... God, it wasn't me. It was that bitch Eve's fault. She tricked me with her titties. $8,000 for a box? Bitch, does it say Gucci on the side of it? Because how are they typing when their hand always looks like they're holding a We were in the basement practicing wrestling moves on each other. You know, typical heterosexual behavior. If Andrew was in a room with Hitler and a random female and had a gun with only one bullet, he would threaten the female with a gun and then sexually assault her. It's the same reason your buddy didn't pull out. We're both just looking for a little dopamine rush. What about Black Widow? What powers does she have, aside from the powers of tits? Now, does spoofs work? Not really. It's basically like smoking weed in a laundromat. Debuffs, a girlfriend with no gag reflex. No one cares about your burpees, Deborah. Maybe if you spent more time putting on makeup instead of flipping tires, you'd have a husband by now. The most awkward awkward first kiss you can have is in the front seat of a car. Your gear shifter might as well be a dildo because it's a massive cock block. And she's like, what? Not realizing my uncle was getting furious. Shlachis thinks a certain percent of the population should go extinct, while at the same time seeing no historical comparisons.
James is so fat, I can hear heavy breathing coming from this picture, and I'm pretty sure his blood type is Nutella. And yes, it would be funny to dress up in a devil's costume, sit in the back row, and start booing.
And the Lord said on the seventh day,
You suck.
What do you mean it's illegal to jizz in my friend's shampoo bottle? I just want to mix this Old Spice with my old spunk. Fully clothed, he's just moaning into the shower head. And I don't know who's crying more, Jimmy from pain or me from laughter. Like most addictions, it's about escaping your problems and turning to something that gives you comfort. Number 3, feet pics. Seems so easy, right? Just get a pedicure and start taking some pics in DSW.
but at this point I had no choice but to accept a corporate D and pay an extra $30. This is for you, corporate daddy.
Now, Sniper Wolf is getting a lot of heat recently. And no, I'm not talking about the heat from the frothy man juice she's getting in every thumbnail. You know the only thing worse than an eating disorder? Being fat. Your friends and family have slowly given up on you, but you know who will always be there? That's right, your Keurig coffee maker. What was that, Keurig? Shh, I know what you need. Oh, yeah. Now feed me that sweet nectar. Booty. Humans are obsessed with the butt. This makes it the 3rd video I've made that's too hot for YouTube. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like that list is gonna grow. But don't worry, because I have good news. You can now see all those videos and more on my brand new Patreon. Oh, look at it. Look at it, beg for money. Or what if a guy's under 5'8"? How is that not a disability? You know how hard it's gonna be for him to find a girl he can go up on? Hope your knees are good, because you're gonna be playing volleyball with that clit.
You know what you want to do? Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh, push the button. Push the button.